What is up, YouTube? This is Alex with SG1 Sports, and you are watching our Big Ten channel. Each year, there will be surprise Cinderella stories and teams that never really live up to the hype. This is my take on which teams will be on the rise and which teams will be truly free-falling for the 2023 Big Ten football season. My first team that's on the rise is Iowa. Addition of portal transfer Cade McNamara looks to spark a dormant Iowa offense and push them into a new level of competitiveness. If he can stay healthy, the sky really is the limit for Iowa this year. However, Cade did go down last season with a knee injury, so his endurance will be something to keep a close eye on this season. If the Hawkeyes stay healthy, I look for them to improve on what was already a solid 2022 season that saw them finish at 8-5. Last year, the Hawkeyes lost to the Cyclones. I see Iowa making easy work of their in-state rivals this year. Iowa State has a betting scandal going on that has really rocked the foundation of their team. I don't know what to expect from that team, honestly, but I do think the Hawkeyes will win that game pretty easy. Also, the Hawkeyes must have some sort of luck on their side. They don't have to play Ohio State or Michigan this year. 10 wins looks like it could be a real possibility for this squad. My first team that's free-falling for this year, Northwestern. It's hard to include a 1-11 team from last year on this list, but they fired their 17-year-long head coach, Pat Fitzgerald, this offseason. New head coach David Braun has his work cut out for him this season. Amid a hazing scandal, it'll be hard to truly get the players' attention year one. I don't see them being competitive at all this year. While they may squeak out one win against a Big Ten bottom feeder, I don't see them making any noise this year. If they want to have any chance at winning, the offense has to find a way to stop giving the ball to opposing defenses. That's been the big plague haunting Northwestern the last few seasons. Until they prove they can hold on to the ball, 1-11 again, baby. My second team on the rise this year is Penn State. They're a team that I could see making a big splash in a crowded Big Ten this year. They have one of the toughest schedules in the Big Ten, though, facing Ohio State in late October and the Wolverines on November 11th. They also have a very tough whiteout game against Iowa at home. They should be favored in all their other games this year. Both of Penn State's running backs, Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton, should go off this year. They have a very solid and experienced O-line. Now the only question left is how will Drew Aller perform in his first season as a starting Big Ten quarterback? If he can perform well, I see this team being one of the best in the Big Ten. Alright, my second team that's free-falling is Illinois. Last season, they finished the season at a very respectable 8-5, only behind Purdue in the West. They picked up Luke Altmaier in the transfer portal this offseason, but I do see him struggling mightily for the Fighting Illini this season. The main reason I see Illinois not being able to return to last year's success is because of the departure of running back Chase Brown. On defense last year, Illinois led the nation with only 12.8 points allowed per game. Many of their defensive stars have returned for this year, but they have a new defensive play caller in Aaron Henry. I don't think this defense is going to be what holds them back this year. However, it will be the offense that holds them back from the success they could reach. Realistically, 6-7 is a good record prediction for them this year. My last team that is ascending this year is Maryland. Maryland really doesn't have the same pressure that teams like Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State have this year, but they do have the pressure of Tagovailoa being a senior. If you've watched this channel at all the past few weeks, you know I think he will be critical to the bounce-back year that Maryland is plotting. Maryland has the advantage of having Penn State at home instead of having to travel to Happy Valley. That could be a big difference in that game. And another game I'm watching closely is the Michigan-Maryland game. Maryland plays Michigan at home the week before the Wolverines take on the Buckeyes in the game. Do I smell an upset? Perhaps. A trap game? Perhaps. But does it seem like this will be one heck of a game? Of course. If Maryland could pull off a win against either team I mentioned, they have a real shot of winning 8 to 9 games this year. My final free-falling team is Purdue. Losing Aiden O'Connell and other key offensive players from last year will haunt the Boilermakers. I'm not too hot on Purdue being very competitive this year. They did get Texas transfer Hudson Card from the portal, but I just don't see him being able to fill O'Connell's shoes. With that being said, I do see him being one of the top 5 to 6 quarterbacks in the Big Ten this year. They have a possibility of starting out with 3-0 with an easy schedule to begin the season. However, I do actually think they will get upset against Fresno State week 1. They went 8-6 last year and made the Big Ten championship game against Michigan. I see them more likely winning 5 or 6 games this year and finishing 4th in the Big Ten West. Overall, I think the Big Ten West isn't going to be really as competitive as it should be. I think the Big Ten East is really going to be what most people are keeping their eyes on, and I think the Big Ten East will win the Big Ten championship again like they do most seasons. Did I miss any teams that are on the rise or any teams that you think are free-falling? If so, let me know in the comments, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button for daily content from yours truly here at SG1 Sports.